You gotta hear this.
This is Inside the ManCave podcast show with Johnny Compian.
You know, when you hear mandatory Metallica, doesn't that make you feel good? I know it does to me. When I hear mandatory Metallica, I love it, man. That is something that fires me up. And you're getting a lot of it right now. You're getting a lot of Metallica because they just recently released their new album, 72 Seasons. They haven't released anything since 2016. So, yeah, it's something that is being talked about a lot right now. They're in the media. They're all over Camel. On Howard Stern, so they're on all the big platforms right now. And a lot of people they're like, you know what, I've had enough. Actually, I talked to one of my buddies the other day, and he was he felt like they were pushing it, you know, a lot. I have a couple friends, actually, that thought about that. They're like, yeah, I'm out of it already. I'm not that big on Metallica anymore. They changed up, and they sold out, and all this other stuff that you hear. And it's understandable, right? We all have our own opinions about music and what we indulge in, and we put in our brains daily. We either do like talk radio, sports radio, or music. You like listening to music on your commute or just driving around running errands. We all have our own taste. And sometimes it is a little overload because when you're hearing them and seeing them, like they were on Kimmel all week. I was like, you know what? I was going to check it out. And then I was like, and then you got YouTube. YouTube, it will have it up right away. Right after they record, they will have the replay of that Metallica on Kimmel. They did some good tunes on there. They sounded great. And they're not pre-recorded. They're not playing to any tracks like Motley Crue, which Nikki Sixx put out a meme today or yesterday saying, hey, here's me not playing live. Ha, 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 ha. I was like, come on, Nikki. Come on, man. Let it go already. You win, dude. You win. You got it, man. You got it all. You're the mastermind. So enjoy that. But I'm talking about Metallica right now because we'll put that stuff to the side. I'm sure we'll hear a lot about that in the next couple of months. But Metallica, man, it's like they sounded great. They sounded raw. Just you don't get bored of that. I don't get bored of that. I'm still glad they're producing and putting out music. That is the best thing for me. That part right there for me is the best, you know. And this new album, 72 Seasons, is pretty good. I ordered the vinyl. I pre-ordered it. It sucks because you pre-order, right? And when you pre-order, you're like, okay, well, I ordered it like 2 months ago. And it released on Friday. Everybody got their copy and they got all this cool stuff. And I bought it from the Metallica site. So you would think they would release it earlier to you, you know? But I don't know. It was weird because I ordered it and then it sat, because I was keeping track of it. Because I was like, man, I want to listen to this thing. Because I was listening to it on YouTube. I listened to a couple tunes, but I'm like, I want to listen to the vinyl. And the record, released on Friday, and everybody was talking about it, and I'm going, okay, well, I'm listening to it on my phone. Friday night, I worked, and then when I got off kind of late, so on my ride back home, I put it on, and just the title track, 72 Seasons is, man, 72 Seasons is, that right there is a statement piece right off the back. There's a lot of good songs on there, a lot of good catchy riffs, and the band is sound great. They sound really good. They sound tight. It's great to hear because, Metallica, like I've told you guys before, that those guys don't play around. They come out and they play music. They play loud and they play fast, and they're great, man. They've gotten better in the last 20 years. When they included Robert Trujillo, I think that really just capped it off for them. And he talked about that, Trujillo did, over the weekend. He was doing some work at some charity work at a food bank in the LA area. And they talked to him, and he's like, yeah, you know what? We sound good. We like the way we sound, and just the chemistry. You can tell, you can see the product. Wherever you're seeing Metallica or hearing it, it's really good and solid. I dig it. It's 77 minutes of Metallica. That's what you're getting. And it's awesome. It's awesome that that we're able to get something like that from this band. And it's refreshing because, like, the whole deal with a lot of bands that play with tracks and along, all that stuff. And there's a huge argument about that, but that's just for another time. I mean, I'm here to review this new Metallica 72 Seasons that released last Friday. And they looked happy about it. James looks like he's good and he's happy. A lot of things happen in life, and, we look at these guys and we're like, perform, just get us fired up or whatever. But, outside of their music life, they got a life just like us. And I'm sure it's pretty hard on them, the pressure, but they enjoy it. They've been doing it for so long. They love that. They love the feeling and stuff. I think it's a great thing that we still have a band like Metallica around that keeps putting out. And I use that word because that's all we've been getting. Even through that period when everything just stopped during the pandemic, Metallica was still at work. You were getting stuff on video and on social media where they were all connecting through that Zoom thing and that conference. And it was so cool because a lot of bands started doing that. And I was like, this is something cool. I'm so glad that came around. It's not around anymore because everybody's out jamming out and there's no restrictions. So everybody's playing together as a group. which is great. But that was a good way to keep things going and keep those juices flowing for them as a band. And all the other bands, I saw, who else did that? Testament. Man, there was a few bands that did it. They did a great job at it, and they sounded good. Very interesting way of doing. I wish we need more of that. Don't let that go. Let's keep that going. I think it's great for us and social media and people, in YouTube that love to watch. I mean, it's crazy because we spend a lot of time on YouTube. I know I do. I got a PlayStation 5, and I use that just strictly for YouTube and maybe gaming here and there, but it's like, forget the cable. There's nothing on. You flip, and you're like, oh, there's nothing on. No NFL, or okay. Yeah, there's NBA right now, but I'm not down with that. Yeah, but we tend to go on and gravitate towards YouTube because there's always everything that you want to, it's there in the palm of your hands, right? And a lot of people use their phones. I know when I'm out doing stuff, I'm on the phone, YouTubing or filming or recording or doing whatever, because it's crazy how things are now. And that's what Metallica did. Metallica stayed relevant for us and kept doing the work. And I'm so happy that they did that because we needed that kind of stuff, right? Entertainment, and we couldn't go anywhere. We couldn't go to shows, and but Metallica was still hard at work. On April 27th, they're going to launch a 2-year worldwide tour, the M72 tour. I'm going to go. At first I was kind of hesitant, but now I want to go. And it starts in Amsterdam. I wish I could go to Amsterdam and check out the first Metallica show from the M72 tour. And it's going to be cool. They talked about this on Stern, that they're playing 2 nights with different set lists. The no repeat weekend. And James said, yeah, it's like, or I think it was Lars, where, back in radio, back in the day, we're not going to repeat any song all weekend long. You will not hear, what is it, Bush back to back, or, you won't hear it twice. And I think that's great. So they talked about the challenge of their set list night to night, because James kind of pointed at Lars and was like, yeah, he's a set list freak, where he's kind of, I guess he's moving it and, adjusting songs, which is cool. I bet you that is like really cool. And you pass it, okay, what do you think about this? And their catalog is massive. So they don't have a hard time, because I went through it. Because I'm going to talk about my all-time top 10 Metallica songs since the release of 72 Seasons, which I added one of their songs on that top 10 of mine. I mean, what is yours? Tweet at me at Johnny Compian and let me know. But yeah, I'm going to do a top 10 list. I think it's appropriate for now, because we're getting a lot of Metallica overload. We got mandatory Metallica on Sirius XM radio, which I thank you, Sirius, because I could just crank that on and turn it up, and it's throughout the whole place. You can hear Metallica all day. Mandatory Metallica. So yeah, I'm going to give you my top 10, and it's my personal one, because I left a lot out. I left a lot out of my top 10 because it's hard. It's just like when you do one of the top 10 quarterbacks. It's hard to bring in, of all time, a list like that. It's kind of hard to kind of mess with and play with, and kind of sit there and shift stuff around. You're like, no, that doesn't belong there. He doesn't belong. Wait, and that's the same thing with Metallica. So it's interesting with the set list. Lars is a freak, I can tell, because James called him out on Stern or on Kimmel. I don't know which one it was. It was one of those. But I know they was talked about, and Lars was like, yeah. So yeah, overall, 72 Seasons is a great album, a release. It starts off with the title track, 72 Seasons, which, man, the songs on there are long. I think the longest song on there is 11 minutes. There's a few 7-minute songs. That's great. They're just not going in there and putting a 3-minute piece together and saying, here you go. Here's 10 new songs at under 8 minutes, maybe 10 you'll get at the most. And these guys are just letting it all out. And that's great. And there was a lot of questions too about Metallica because I remember the show Stranger Things came out on Netflix and Metallica was on there. I think in the last episode of Stranger Things. Excuse me. And, that shot them up and got them more popularity in the younger generation. They're like, what is this? Metallica? Is that something new? And it's funny because James said, they said, hey, don't let these guys know how old we really are. and because there's a bunch of young kids that they liked that song Master of Puppets on Stranger Things, and they downloaded or went out and bought the vinyl. Who knows how they consumed the Metallica after listening to it on Stranger Things. But they did. They responded in a big way, and it put their name out there again. And it's, I'm sure that everybody knows who Metallica is now. But there was a point where really nobody knew who Metallica was. So it's cool if you have Sirius XM, they have these little vignettes leading up to the songs. As soon as they release their new album, 72 Seasons, they'll do a little vignette. Either James or Lars or Robert or Kurt would come on and talk about a song, a new title song, and say, hey, this is what this was about. Here it is. Or James is like, hey, this is why I wrote this song. This and that. And that right there is really cool. That's why I'm saying I thank Sirius XM Radio for providing mandatory Metallica. I love it. Before, when I was prepping for this, I was listening to some mandatory Metallica as getting my top 10 list. Because it wasn't hard for me to get that top 10 list. I just added a new one on there from the new album, 72 Seasons. And you guys are kind of like, you guys that know me are giving me like, dude, really? Like that top 10, you forgot Enter Sandman, you forgot this, and you forgot that, and you didn't put The Unforgiven, and you didn't put one in there, or you didn't do that. Hey, it's my top 10 list. You guys can pick it apart as soon as I tell you what my top 10 list. Tell me what yours is. Tweet at me at Johnny Compian and let me know what your top 10 Metallica songs are of all time. I think that's a fun little thing we can do right now, right? So let's get to that. Let's get to this top 10 list.
So fucking what?
And this all started in 1983 when I first heard Metallica. So 1983 to 2023, that's a good little run there. When I first heard Metallica, Kill 'Em All, my best friend, who I just recently lost, says, hey, you got to listen. Come over. You got to listen to this thing, man. And I lived next door to him. We were kids. And it's like, all right, cool. Went over, and he cranks this on his stereo. We had all the windows open, and we're just like hanging out, doing what we do as young kids. And we cranked this Metallica, and Hit the Lights comes on. and I was hooked. I was hooked right away. I'm like, wow. I never heard the drums come out like that. And, you know, just the way it started and the guitar and James's vocals, it was young and raw. It was awesome living through it, you know, because now the new Metallica fans, it doesn't matter if you came in later in, you know, in Justice for All or the Load album and the Reload, whenever you came in as a Metallica fan, you got to go back to that Kill 'Em All album. Just put that on all the way through and listen to it on vinyl. You will appreciate that. I know I did. My buddy and I would crank that out all the time. You know, Kill 'Em All, Metal Militia, Whiplash. Man, there was so many, everything on there. I'm telling you guys, do yourself a favor and listen to Kill 'Em All from the beginning to the end. And you guys would thank me later on. You younger guys who just came in with, what was that? Stranger Things. So, yeah, you'll thank me for it. And, you know, I'm going to start off with my top 10, okay? This is my top 10 all-time Metallica songs. And I'm going to start in 1988, okay? I'm going to start in 88, and this is my song right here in 88. My number 10. This is my number 10 song of all time of Metallica. From Justice for All. I don't know, that's my tune right there, man. I mean, I don't know what you think, but that's my tune right there. Number 10. Some guys are, what the hell, number 10? Yep, number 10. And it's cool because I love doing things like this because people will disagree or be like, dude, your music taste just sucks. And I'm cool with that because we all have different music that we consume. And, you know, Metallica might not be your thing. And number nine, you guys are going to be like, what the hell? Where's Enter Sandman? Where is Enter Sandman on this? Where? But this tune right here, this is my number 9. The Thing That Should Not Be. It's a 1986 release. And I just dig the intro. The build-up of it is just, it's a solid song. And that's my number 9. The Master of Puppets. I don't know what you think. Tweet at me at Johnny Compian and tell me you're wrong. How could you do that song at number 9? You need to put Enter Sandman or The Unforgiven. And I say no. Because I'm going to give you my number 8. And you're going to, I don't know how you're going to take it, but it's not what you normally hear because I love listening to these whole albums. When I was younger, I listened to front to back, man, and you would discover these songs and they were part of your routines and stuff. You would hear these when you're at parties and stuff, and it's like, oh, okay, cool. And they would stick with you. So this was my number 8 right here, Escape, from 1984, Ride the Lightning. I don't know, I dug it. Number 8. Yeah, Ride the Lightning, man. That tour was cool. Got to see that live, and it was some good memories. So you know that right there is number 8, and you're like, wait a minute, dude, you're at number 8, and you don't even have Kill 'Em All. Wait a minute, I'm going to get to that number 7 spot, which I told you about when I was talking about doing this top 10 list. But I said, this album, Kill 'Em All, was where it all started for me. So at number 7, you're like, what? Wait a minute. Number 7, like, yeah, at number 7, the intro song to Kill 'Em All. I'm telling you guys, do yourself a favor. Listen from the beginning to the end. But this is my number 7, 1983. Yeah, I dug that. That was cool. A little build up. See, that's cool. That's where it sold me. I don't know. I don't know what you think. Number 7, Hit the Lights, Kill 'Em All. And then number 6. This is getting good. It's getting good because you're like, damn, I want to hear Enter Sandman so bad. I can't wait. This is like when I was a kid, you would listen to the top 10 and you could call in and vote for your favorite video. And you're like, I can't wait to get Enter Sandman into the top 10. Yeah, okay, whatever. But that album, the Black Album, Metallica, that had so many good hits on there. And you're like, wow, okay, so when you hear my number 6 song, you're going to be like, dude, are you kidding me? You didn't play the song I wanted to hear? This right here is my number 6 from the Black Album, 1991. The bass line is just great. Awesome album. I have it on vinyl, that special edition release. Yeah. If you're a Metallica freak like me, go out and buy it. Go to your record store and pick it up. It's one of my favorite songs, man, right here. My Friend Misery. My Friend of Misery. Metallica, the Black Album. 1991 was a good year. Wow. Man. Okay. All right. So we're at number 5, the top 5 of all time Metallica songs that I love. My favorite tunes. And I'm sorry that you guys were waiting all that time for me to get to 5 and I didn't play Enter Sandman. But I'm going to go back. I'm going to go back to another album because I was just like picking. I'm like, oh man, I love listening to this. Okay. And this tune right here, I don't know why I dug it so much. I guess because I used it a lot. Being in radio, I would use it for a rejoiner or to create a highlight for a Spurs game or an NFL football highlight. And I don't know, it stuck to me. It was really good. From Master of Puppets, Orion. Man, I just dug the whole thing. It was awesome. I seen him play this live, and it's one of my favorites. I just dig the whole build-up. Once again, the build-up, the way it just fires you up. I know it fires me up. I love music. Music is a huge part of my life, and I'm glad to share this list. This is number 5 for me. So now we get to number 4. You're like, dude, where's Master of Puppets? You just played some. You put Orion at 5. You should have put Master of Puppets somewhere around here. But you know what? I'm going to throw a curveball at you guys. And I'm going to do This song right here, I'm telling you, when I heard it Friday night at midnight, Thursday night going into Friday, when I got out of work late, I heard this song, had seen the video, and it got me. And I kept listening to it. It's a long song. So, the title track, 72 Seasons, the new Metallica. Number 4. High up there, my all-time. But I love it. I don't know, man. I can't wait to see that live in Jerry's World in Arlington, along with Pantera that night. It's going to be a sight to see, man. It's going to be awesome. I can't wait. If you guys want to come along, let me know. Tweet at me at Johnny Compian, or let's meet up in Dallas or in Arlington or wherever, and let's party down for Metallica, because I can't wait to get that stadium feeling, to hear Metallica play really loud in Jerry's World. I'm so ready for that. I need that. My body needs that. My ears are already all jacked up. I got to talk to you guys about that, but that's for another day. So that right there was my number 4 from the new Metallica release, 72 Seasons. And let's go all the way back. Let's go back for my number 3. Let's go back to Injustice for All. And this right here, this tune here was very catchy when I first heard Injustice and saw this live with Queensryche. When I first heard this, when it came out, I was just blown away. It's like, wow, it was just so powerful and just, man. And it still is. You listen to it, and to me, I still get the same feeling, from the first time I listened to it. But this is my number 3, Blackened, 1988, Injustice for All release. I don't know. What do you think? There you go. It always feels good, man, to listen to that. If you're working out, or if you're just driving down the highway, or riding down the highway on your motorcycle, or in your Corvette, or your convertible Mustang, or your whatever you ride, listening to Metallica, that's good. 1988, wow. And you're asking to yourself, dude, what is Johnny thinking? What is he thinking? He's Injustice for All, one of their best albums ever, and he picks Blackened. That's, to me, there's one. Everybody, there's a lot of fans out there that love one. One is that staple tune for them, and you're like, dude, you've already went through your top. You're almost to your top 10 here. You're almost done with this, and you still do not have one, The Unforgiven. You didn't put Sandman. When are you going to put Sandman in here? Or Sad But True. There's so many tunes, right? But I'm going to go back. And this song right here was one of mine. When I first heard it, almost just like the same thing that happened with Kill 'Em All. My best friend's like, dude, come over You got to listen to what I got. New Metallica. I'm like, okay, I'll be there, dude, because we live right next door. And he puts this on. And I'm like, what the hell is this? Bring that cassette and let's go in my car and let's go for a drive. And that's what we did. And this is what we heard, and we're like, what the hell? It was awesome. My number 2, Fight Fire with Fire. Ride the Lightning. 1984. Wow. Yeah, there it is, man. If you're going to go into a gang fight or whatever, or you're about to go to a show, you put that on and you're like, okay, I'm ready, bro. Like, what are we going to do? Are we driving up somewhere to go party in Austin, or going to a bar tonight? Put that on and you're ready. So we finally get to number 1. Number 1. My all-time favorite Metallica song. Let me know what yours is. This is my top 10. And you're going to judge and you're like, dude, this better be Sandman. This better be Sad But True. This better be The Unforgiven. At number 1, my number 1 all-time Metallica song is this right here. Is my song that if anything's going wrong today and you just haven't, it's just not going right, you put this song right here and you'll feel better afterwards. I guarantee you. Damage Incorporated. Damage Inc. 1986. Master of Puppets. Whew. That's my number 1. Can you beat that top 10? I mean, come on. And then you finish it out with this. I feel like my top 10 is pretty solid. What about yours? You're talking all that shit and smack about it. Oh, dude, he didn't put Sandman in there. He didn't put Sad But True. The Unforgiven. I mean, prove me wrong. Give me your top 10 list. Tweet it at me at Johnny Compian. Until next time, I appreciate it. Take care. And I'm glad we got mandatory Metallica.
It's about damn time.
Inside the ManCave with Johnny Compian.
Tweet at me at Johnny Compian on Twitter.
Online.
Are you high?